I see it on there?
Yeah, you just go for it right now.
Okay. I'm Aaron. Do you need last name? Or?
No,
that's fine. That's fine. Alright, so Aaron, any background on you?
I am from Washington, or Northwest Washington.
And how long have you been in Tucson for?
Like 3 years.
Nice. And was it college or something else that brought you?
It's a long story, kind of personal, but we'll just go with college or school.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Okay, so these are just going to be some basic questions about your worldview, nothing deeply philosophical or anything like that. So, first off, what do you think some of the major problems in America are these days?
There's a lot, but I would say the biggest problem would be the people, like big corporations, basically controlling the government and making decisions or they're not ethical decisions, they're more on keeping a business going rather than thinking about like people or like communities.
And what do you think of some practical solutions possible?
I would say like more laws, like policing, but that's the issue. Like the people that are in control have a lot of money, so they kind of keep it that way. So it's kind of hard to say whether there's a solution for it.
So you'd say that they're kind of more or less corrupt?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean at the highest level, but I mean I only know so much, so I'm, who's to say there's good people at the top doing good things, but from my point of view, the things that I've heard or know, they seem more based on making more money than actually doing good for society.
Trying to put green in the pot.
Yeah, exactly.
Next thing would be, what things are important to you?
What things are important to me? Right now, music, but I mean, that's just music. But maybe trying to land a good job. That's probably the most important.
What's the music thing? I mean, what instrument do you play?
Well, I don't play an instrument really, but I like to produce music, like studio stuff. So I would say piano, but I'm not really, deep musical theories, more, just playing around.
This next one, don't think of it as super philosophical, but what do you think your personal purpose in life is?
I couldn't say. I'm still trying to figure it out. But I don't know. I would say I don't know right now, because I know contributing to society is an important thing, but it's hard to know where you want to, what kind of skill you want to learn to be able to, have a good job and make, an honest living.
Well, do you think that there's a purpose for human life as a whole for the planet?
I don't know. That's another question I don't know. It's most people's philosophy is life is what you make it, so kind of purpose it differs between person to person.
Shape your own destiny.
Yeah, exactly.
Next one would be, where do you think that the universe came from?
I don't know I would say I don't have a religious standpoint. I'm not very spiritual, but like when you say you don't have a religion, that is having a religion, or like agnostic or whatever. But I couldn't say. It's hard to believe that somebody could create the universe, and then it's also hard to believe that the universe could just explode into something, or nobody has an explanation for it. But
so do you think it wasn't just like a cosmic accident? You think that there was actually a reason?
I couldn't say either way. I'm kind of like, the universe is so big and complex that the information that I know now, or like the science and technology, you still can't even explain it. Nor can you say that, somebody created it themselves. So, don't really know.
So I know you said you don't have a religious
deep spiritual standpoint, but do you believe that there is a deity out there?
I would say no at this point. And I don't. Do you have to have a reason for that, or you just say no?
No.
I would just say no.
Well, you don't necessarily have to have a reason, but I mean, is there a specific instance of why you don't believe there's a deity?
I would say, I mean, I grew up in a religious family, which was like, they were, I would say just Christian, because I know there's like different divisions or whatever you call it, but I would just say solely like the big one, like the center one, Christianity or whatever, and it's just like, you see bad things happen to good people, and nothing, they didn't deserve it or anything, and it's like people say, oh, there's a reason, everyone has a purpose, or there was, like God knew you before you were born, stuff like that, and it's like, well, you see people born in projects and stuff like that, like how are you gonna say someone that has that kind of life, that was planned or whatever? So I'd like to think that it's not like that,
And going off of human life, where do you believe that human life originated from? Like its origin?
I couldn't say. That goes back to the universe. People say evolution, and it started from like an organism or tiny bacteria. So I don't know. I find that hard to believe because it would take so long, even in a theoretical standpoint. But then again, it's like I can't say that somebody was like, there's humans, and I took a bone out of somebody and kind of deal. So it's hard. Like basically, I would just say, based on information I know, I don't know. Don't even want to argue on who's right or wrong.
Different viewpoints to go off of with that.
Mhm.
Do you think that ethics and morals are relative to a societal function, or do you believe that there is?
I think, well, now from what I've learned, just being at the school or seeing history, and that ethics is definitely wishy-washy. Because like like I was saying in the what's wrong with America is like at the highest levels of people making the most money, there is no ethics, or ethics is out the window. They don't care, and it's like, well, you wonder how society operates. Is not complete anarchy and chaos without ethics. So it's kind of like, is there ethics or is there not? When there's so much crime going on. But I would say, just from like a standpoint of where, like, say you're working somewhere and two people are getting paid the same, and like one person's lazy and the other person's doing all the work, there's going to be that that tension of like, hey, he's getting paid the same as I am, but he's not doing anything. And it's kind of like an ethical like he's doing me wrong, and I don't like it, and I want somebody to do something about it, kind of deal. And I think that there has to be something that keeps people in check as far as ethics, to keep things people like not killing each other and fighting and just
The
angry.
basic foundation of governmental law,
Yeah,
but
like
then
rules.
individual people,
Yeah.
goes out the window sometimes.
Would you say that like morals and ethics are relative to the culture that they're in? Like,
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Like, I mean, that's part of like what's wrong with America to me is like I took an anthropology class, and I've seen cultures all over the world. We watched documentaries and stuff, and like the foreign policies that the U.S. or the way the U.S. deals with foreign countries and governments and stuff like that. Some of the stuff I've seen, I'm just like, no wonder people hate America, or they say the things that they do. So.
Kind of a question going off of the human life one. What do you believe happens to people when they die?
That goes with my agnostic, or my idea of afterlife is I don't think there's an afterlife. I think I'm more of a, well, I can't say I'm fully agnostic, because I'm more towards the scientific realm, where you're an organism, and then when you die, the chemical reactions in your brain just cease. And
And you just get back to
exactly.
Earth.
Yeah, you're basically matter. Yeah, exactly.
So, pretty much answered this one. Where would you say you learned most of your answers from? Science.
Yeah, basically, I'm 25, so 20. Well, I didn't become really, what do you call it, when you think for yourself, around the age of like 18, 19. So like maybe 5 years or 6 years, 7 years of like, what do you call it?
Independent thinking.
Yeah, well, just information bombarding you, basically.
Yep. Well, that's pretty much wraps up the interview for us. So.